And the floor is yours, Ms. Corbin.
Alright, I wrote it on the board. If you can see, we're going to sing mi, re, non, do, do on a chord, and tenors are going to go up, then altos, and then bass and soprano. I'll play some of it so you can hear what it sounds like. It's tenors, and then altos, and then bass and soprano. Alright, so here's your pitches. Basses, tenors, altos, sopranos. 1, 2, ready, sing. Let's do another one. Let's do like on ma, like ma. So 1, 2, ready, sing. Ma.
Yeah. Do you want to do mansions?
Okay.
Or okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go to the last page of Improv Mansions. And I was thinking instead of just be sure that you're not saying mansions and making it like an a vowel. I would say it's somewhere in between and aw. You don't want mansions or mentions, but maybe like somewhere in between that, like vowel. I would use that symbol. Sopranos, just breathe and come back in. I know this. Whenever I was singing this, I was just about ready to die. If I don't, it's an oo vowel, but make sure your lips aren't coming over your teeth. Like Alon was talking about, that's probably the hardest vowel to have good placement. There's a tendency to bring your lips down. Try and make it, maybe even open it up to more of an can I have the A? See, it's still kind of ooh. It's not, ooh, because you're going to have to try a lot harder to be heard if you're doing this. So yeah, open it up and then just breathe and come back in. I know that's really hard to just hold that note in that place where it's at and everything else. So, and altos, I can imagine it's easier for you, but singing below the staff and trying to be quiet is also really hard to do. So just brighten up the vowels in those words, and then you won't have to try as hard to be heard. And then make sure your placement is really forward as well. Let's just start right there. The bottom system, in right mentions. We'll start with, we'll just have the sopranos come in on an A. Right, the sopranos.
Try that one more time from the beginning. And you know, it occurred to me, as I'm sure it did to you, we didn't practice just bringing the sopranos in. So it's the same thing, right? Kathy gives the A. You need to, our model is attention, look, breathe, and then bring, attention again, look, breathe, in my Father's house. So sopranos, quieter, and then switch to 4/4 at the end.
Okay. It's a little bit faster than we've been doing it.
Okay, are you comfortable with the tempo where it is?
Yeah, I am, but if you want me to slow it down?
No, it's your choir. So whatever, all I ask is, are you getting what you want? So if you're getting what you want. The one thing I would say, though, is as small as the gesture is, that I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but I think sometimes we're just not quite sure when we're going to get there because there's not enough room for it to go, in my Father, it just kind of seems like anybody, do you concur? If it were just a little bit larger, I think we would feel like we had a little more space to do what you want to do. So maybe just a little bit bigger, and so do the what's the one before we go into 1/4? If it were not so. Yeah, do the if it were not so without that, just with the. If it were not so. So then you were right here, but I is beat 2. So go I. Come back in here. When you did the 2 downbeats, you were going to be off. Okay. If it were. If it were not so, I would have. And the only thing that I would do, step forward just a second. So you're going, if it were not so. in the wrong place. If it were not so, and then the downbeat, what we just did. Okay? So you do the transition. If it were not so, 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that make sense? Okay, so start wherever you want to start. And just try, when you're in the grouping, just try to make it a little bit bigger so they have a little more space, okay?
All right, from the beginning. Friends.
Did that work better? Sorry, I did it to you again, didn't I? I didn't let you cut them off, which we talked about yesterday. So when you got to the end of 1, I would have told, you kept it in the 4 pattern. You know, we were struggling with what to do on told, but I couldn't keep you quiet without making them move. So that worked for you. Now, why did you go to syllabic at the beginning?
To make it clearer, because I was trying, I wanted to just like conduct every word.
Right, that's what we did this morning, right? But I want you to not do that one time, just see if we make the transition. So I think the reason you got syllabic is you were struggling with trying to get bigger. So how does it start? In my father. So in my father's house. Just see if you can give them a little more space. Just do the very beginning. Sopranos don't sing, just the other 3 parts. Yucks and giggles, make it twice as big. In my father's house. So how does that feel?
I felt a little unnatural.
Yeah, but how did it look?
It was better.
Much better. It looks so much better. Because when you what I told you before, I mean, I can tell every time I touch your arms, they are rock hard full of tension. And I mean, and we get that. It's just, you know, you can feel that tension in your throat, can you not? You know, when you conducted that tension in your arms, it translates to them, and tension is death to a singer. So you've got to let go of that. And when you just got yourself completely outside of your comfort level, it let them make the music. And you need to let them do that. Do that again. Just pick your nose with one hand and conduct with the other. I don't know. Do something that just gets you out of your comfort zone, okay? Nose and mouth. In my father's house, there are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. So I was just going to put an E on. That's better. So you got back in that 5 pattern, right? It's just right, you know, and that's like we were talking about this morning. It's the ability to have one thing going on and processing that next piece of information at the same time, so that you know, you can be. This is better. I think it can be even. You know, so it got bigger, but it's kind of vertical. So you know, if it can be more legato, I mean, it's horizontal or circles. Anything without a point is more legato than something with a point. So, but this is better. The other thing you'll see when you look at the tape is that you actually moved your body this time. And that's good, because sometimes you're just very rigid. In my father's house. Now he's got the opposite problem. I don't remember what he was doing yesterday, but he was doing something. You know, he just looked like a bobblehead at some point. I see you, yes. So playback's hack, you know. But you know, but you can use more of that motion. Now put the sopranos back in the next. I think you'll see when you do that, one of the things we try to do at the very end, when we do a cut, we try to make the cut the same general sense as the rest of you. And it was out of tempo. It was out of tempo. So, you know, if you can make it kind of within the same tempo. One last time, and don't mouth it. Okay. Hey, I've been meaning to ask you, are you singing the A with them when they come in?
I did a couple times.
Don't, yeah, I thought so. Don't sing them. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do, because I'm absolutely certain I mouth it all the time, right? So, yeah, I know. But I really shouldn't, and this will make you, it's sort of like you always wish for your children that they have a better life than you, so do as I do, not as I do. One more time. You'll see that, you know, when you don't have your mouth to use, then everything that you're trying to do musically has to be put in the gesture. And again, do as I say, not as I do. It's more valuable to the ensemble if it's in the gesture. Every time I mouth, I'm doing it wrong. Every time I do it, I'm doing it wrong. Every time I do it, I'm taking something away from my gesture, and I'm sticking it in my mouth instead of in my gesture. When I subdivide in my right foot, that works for me. It does nothing for the choir. They cannot see my right foot, okay? But so, if, you know, Skonas would come over and he would stand on my foot. He was 6'4". It hurt. But he would say, come on, that does them no good. Okay, so then I've got to find a way to make it work in the gesture without it being in the foot. So the more that you can do that, the better. Do you have comments you would like, or that you would like to say, or do you have questions of them? How did X work for you, or how does this look, or what do you think?
I think I was struggling with. I wanted them to know where the words were, but you didn't want. I shouldn't be conducting every single word, so I guess that was weird.
To let them do the music?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you understand the way I mean, they don't, but you do. You understand the way I teach. I mean, that's an important point, right? The greatest amount of artistry happens between the beats. And so the more beats you give them, the less artistry occurs. You take it away from them. And so if you could even get to in my Father's house, then they've got that. That's all theirs. It's all for them. And the more I do, the more you do, the more Alon does, the more Helen Rilling does, the less the orchestra does, the less the singers do. Give it away. Give it to them. Let them make the music as best you can. You don't want to just go, but it's important that you let go, and that's not in your nature. And We all know that, and it's the big, huge step you've got to make is letting go. We talked about this morning, and a part of being in this choir is you have to be able to take it as it is. Why do I give you 3 beats before you come out of the drop?
Because I need it.
Because she needs it. I don't need it. Boom, 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 because he needs it. Sometimes you just have to conduct the drummer. It'd be better if I didn't have to, right? But, that's what Sam needed. So I gave him what he needed. But you do more for them than they need. And you're doing that for you. But this is so much better than yesterday. So, good work. Let me just split the file here real quick, Alon.
What do you want me to do?
Same thing.